Hello and welcome to another daily devotion. As this week we journey through the week of Epiphany. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you a question. Why did Jesus get baptized? Did he need to be baptized? Had he done something wrong? Don't we normally associate baptism with grace and forgiveness of sins? Or is there also an aspect of baptism that is committing and entering into a new way of life? And the baptism for Jesus is an entry into this all-in commitment to the ministry and mission of his life, his purpose before God. I'm ready. I choose this path. In the Eastern Church, as I mentioned in the first devotion, if you've been paying attention each day, what? Yeah. Epiphany is actually called in Eastern Church theophany, and it's about the baptism of Jesus. When the Spirit of the Lord descends from the heavens like a dove, and at that moment, the ministry of Jesus begins. The mantles pass from John the Baptist to Jesus, and he goes into the wilderness 40 days, 40 nights to seek God, but also to be tested. The mountaintops, you find God. The desert, you go to meet the devil and struggle. Wrestle within yourself and all the temptations to bail. All the reasons why it shouldn't be you. And so when in an era when baptism, I'll try not to get on my soapbox here, but when baptism sometimes becomes, it's cute, there's a baby, we're going to take some pictures. And I always try to emphasize, now, baptism is something so much more powerful than that. It is an entry into not a new religion. It's not an inoculation shot against sin. It is saying my life, everything about it, not an hour on Sunday, but everything I am is now committed to the way of Christ. It's almost like a martial artist learning the way of the fist or the way of the sword, or, Haikido or Taekwondo, but it's more than a physical thing. There's a spiritual aspect to it, a balance in your whole life from the Eastern traditions. In the same way, following Christ spills over and carries into who we are, who I am as a dad, who I am as a husband, who I am as a brother, as a son. Everything I do, whether I'm playing basketball at the rec, or I'm preaching a sermon from the pulpit, or I meet a homeless person while I'm going through the books at the library, to see through the lens of Christ. And so as we celebrate Christ revealed through his ministry and his baptism, this is my Son, my beloved, with whom I am well pleased, we also should ask ourselves, what does being baptized into this life, this new year, mean to me? Paul says, when you're baptized, you are a new creation. And that isn't something that's done. I got baptized. I'm good. Got the certificate. All right, great. Somebody got it written down somewhere. Okay, good. We're good to go. No. It's a beginning. It's like in Lord of the Rings where the dwarves all spill into Bilbo's house. And they tell him he's going to go on this incredible journey. And he's like, nah, I'm not going. And then each step of the way, more and more, he discovers more about who he really is and how he has value as an individual to the rest of the parts of this body. That without him, they would struggle. And without them, he'd be lost. So what is this baptism journey and connection to the one that we celebrate this Epiphany? What does it mean to you? How has it changed your New Year trajectory, your resolutions about who you want to be? And more importantly, who you were made to be before God and the world. Something to pray on, I hope. Amen.